Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm your Tally Guru Abhijit Joshi. In the last video lesson, we entered 5 transactions in the company called Joshi Milk Mart. We will be continuing with the company and will enter transactions from 6 to 8. So now we will double click the icon of Tally to start Tally and we will select our company. To do so, we will select from drive. We'll go in C drive. We will select Tally data and select your folder. My name is Abhijit. I will select Abhijit. Here is our company Joshi Milk Mart. We'll press enter. Now we would like to see the transactions we have entered. So we will go in daybook. We'll select daybook and we'll press enter. So here I had entered 5 transactions. I am able to see only 2 because daybook will show you the current date. The current date, the last date you had entered was 2nd April. So you are able to see only 2 transactions. To see all the transactions, I will press the F2 date. Now here it is asking me the date. If I enter 1/4, that is 1st April, I will be able to see the remaining 3 transactions. This time the report is of 1st April. To do this, I have got 2 methods. The first is the most convenient. We will click F2 date and then we will press spacebar. That is, I do not want any date. That's not possible. So Tally will show you all the transactions. So these are all the 5 transactions appearing in the daybook. But say I want to see the transactions for the month of April. In that case, I will click on the button besides the F2 date. And when I click here, I'll get 2 options, date and period. Note that F2 has got an underline. So instead of clicking this and then this, I can directly use the hotkey Alt F2. So I'll keep the Alt key pressed on the keyboard and then press F2. Now here in from, I will type simply A. So it will take it as 1st April, and here also I will type A. So it will take the last date of April, that is 30th April. So you can see the period is from 1st April to 30th April. Let's press Alt F2 again. This time I will press A for April and here I will type MAY. So the period will be from 1st April to 31st of May. See, 1st April to 31st of May. We do not have transactions, but a period has been selected. The daybook also helps you in altering the transaction. For example, this purchase entry is wrong, or I want to modify it. So I'll go here and press enter. When I go here and press enter, accounting voucher alteration secondary. So here I am able to alter my voucher. I can make any changes I want and I can accept this voucher. So this way I can alter my vouchers and all my relevant reports will be updated. We have not gone through the reports, but this is the importance of the daybook. Welcome back to Gateway of Tally. In the last video lesson, we had created ledgers. To view these ledgers, we can the option chart of accounts in Gateway of Tally. We'll press enter here. Then we will press enter on ledgers. So we get a list of all the pre-created groups of Tally, and here we see that we have created the ledger called Dena Bank under bank account. Then cash is the pre-created ledger. Then Yadav Sweets, which we have created under sundry debtors. So we'll get all the groups and the ledgers. But now if I want to see only the ledgers, so here is a button, F5 ledger view. So I can press F5 function key or I'll click on this. So I'll get all the list of ledgers and I can select the ledger and make changes to it. Now it's time that we enter our remaining 3 vouchers. So our next transaction is transaction number 6. On 2nd April 2023, we received cash of rupees 6,000 towards catering services. Catering services is our income, right? So from Gateway of Tally, we will select vouchers. Our voucher type here is purchase. We will change the voucher type to F6 receipt. So we will press the function key F6. This is the receipt voucher. I'll press space bar and we'll select the cash. So we have received the money in cash. So I'll press enter. Here I'll press space bar and here we'll select catering services. Enter. We'll enter the amount 6,000. Enter. Enter once again. We'll keep the narration blank and accept the voucher. This was our second receipt. So the number 3 is appearing. The previous 2 receipts have been accepted as data by Tally Prime. The next transaction is transaction number 7. On 2nd April 23, we paid electricity bill of rupees 1,500 by cash. Now that we have paid the electricity bill, it is a payment. The current voucher type is receipt. We will press F5 on the keyboard for payment. We have done the payment by cash. So we will type CA and press enter. Cash will be selected. Now we have paid electricity bill and we have already created the ledger by the name of electricity expenses. So we will type EL and press enter. We'll type the amount 1,500. We'll press enter, keep the narration blank and accept the voucher. Then is the last entry, that is entry number 8. On 2nd May 2023, we deposited 5,500 cash in Dena Bank. So the money was transferred from the cash box to Dena Bank. For transactions like these where we are depositing money in the bank, or we are withdrawing money from the bank, or we are transferring cash from one box to another box. So I have got cash collection in Boisar and cash collection in Palghar. So if I have less money in Boisar, I would like to transfer money from Palghar to Boisar. So in this case, I will use the contra voucher. Similarly, if I have got 2 accounts, one is in Dena Bank and other is in HDFC. Now in my HDFC account there is a lot of money, but Dena Bank has less, and I have given a check of a bigger amount to someone and I have signed a check of Dena Bank. So urgently I want to transfer money from my HDFC bank to Dena Bank. So the money will go from HDFC bank to Dena Bank. Again, this sort of transaction will be contra. So cash to bank, bank to cash, cash to cash, bank to bank are recorded as contra vouchers. So right now we are in the payment voucher. The shortcut key for contra voucher is F4. So we will click here or press function key F4. Now the date is 2nd April. The transaction was on 2nd May. So we will press F2 date. To change the date, we will press F2 and here we will type 2MAY and press enter. So 2nd May will appear here. So we are now in the contra voucher and voucher number 1. This voucher is a bit confusing. So to understand this better, you can see 2. One is account, another is particular. The money will go in the field of accounts, but money will go out from particulars. So in our case, we are depositing money in the bank and the money will go out from the cash. So we will select our ledger Dena Bank here. And now the money is going from cash, so we will type cash and press enter, and then we will type the amount 5,500. But here I will do a mistake intentionally. We'll make it 7,500 and press enter. Now you can see a warning coming. Negative cash. Cash can never be negative. The closing balance of cash can never be credit. The balance is always debit. Cash balance is always debit. So we are getting a warning here. We are ignoring and going forward. So we have entered this transaction in a wrong way. Let's accept the voucher. Let's go escape, come back to Gateway of Tally, and as we have learned, we will correct this voucher. We'll go in daybook. The current date is 2nd May and this is our voucher. We'll press enter. We'll go press enter and change the amount to 5,500 and we'll accept the voucher. So this way we have altered the voucher. Now the transaction is correct. We'll come back, escape, and now we are in the Gateway of Tally. Now we have completed all the entries. We will take the reports. So first we will see the ledger books. We would like to see the ledger book of Lalu Milk Mart. To do so, in the Gateway of Tally we will select display more reports. The shortcut key is D. We'll press enter here. Then we will go in account books. We went in display, now we will go in account books. We press enter and then we will select ledgers. We'll press enter here. We get a list of all the ledgers. Now remember, we had given the alias LMM. So we can select this alias instead of Lalu Milk Mart. So we'll take LMM and press enter. The ledger of Lalu Milk Mart will appear. Now the closing balance, look at this closing balance. The closing balance is 6,000 on the credit side. This means that it is a liability. Closing balances of liabilities are always credit. Closing balances of assets are always debit. So this is a liability. That means we have to pay 6,000 to Lalu Milk Mart. Now let us go and see the ledger of Yadav Sweets. So we'll come back to Gateway of Tally and we'll select D for display, A for account books and L for ledger. And now we will select Yadav, enter. So closing balance of Yadav Sweets is 2,000 rupees. The closing balance is on debit side. So debits are assets. We have to receive 2,000 from Yadav Sweets. Let us now check the cash balance. So we'll press escape, 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 escape. Remember, D for display, A for account books, L for ledger. So this time we will use only the letters D, A, L and type C, A, S, H. How fast? We are able to get the closing balance of cash. The closing balance of cash is 1,000 on the debit side. That is 1,000 debit is asset. So in our cash box we have 1,000 rupees. Now you can see opening balance here. The ledger is from 1st May to 2nd May. But I can take the ledger from 1st April to May. So we will press the F2 period here and we'll type A for April and MAY for the last date of May, and I'm getting the ledger of April to May. So you normally get the ledger only for 1 month and then you have to select the period. So to select the ledger, every time you don't have to go back out of this report. There is ledger button given here. Now if I have to see the ledger For electricity expenses, I will press the function KFO, and here itself I will give ELE and press enter. The closing balances of expenses are always debit. So this is my expense. Now again we will press F4 and we will take our ledger catering services. Incomes always credit. So 6000 is appearing on the credit side. We will press F4 again, and this time we will select the sales account. Sales is an income, so the closing balance is 7000 on the credit side. Now let's change the ledger F4 and select the purchase account. Purchase is an expense, so the closing balance is 9000 on the debit side. Now we will come back to Gateway of Tally. We will now check the trial balance. To check the trial balance, we have to go in Display, Trial Balance. The shortcut key is DET. The shortcut key for ledger was DAL. The shortcut key for trial balance is DT. So you get a trial balance group wise. These are pre-created groups. Now to view the trial balance ledger wise, here is a button F5 ledger wise. So we click on this or press F5 on the keyboard, and now I get my trial balance ledger wise. So here cash ledger, my closing balance is 1000. Catering services, my income closing balance was 6000. Dena Bank is 5500 on the debit side. Electricity expense is my expense. Then 6000 is Lalu Milk Mart on the credit side. It's my liability. I have to pay. Total purchases are worth 9000. Total sales are worth 7000. And Yadav Sweets is on the debit side. I have to receive from Yadav Sweets. There's one more important thing which is to be noted. If I go in Lalu Milk Mart and I press enter, I get a monthly summary of my debits and credits. Then I can move to the month, say April, and press enter. I get the ledger of Lalu Milk Mart. So once again, what I have done is from the trial balance, I have drilled down to my ledger. So let's go in Display, Trial Balance DT, then select ledger wise F5, then select Lalu Milk Mart, enter. We'll select the month April, and these are our two purchase and sales transaction. Wonderful thing about Tally is this feature of drill down. Now I press enter here, so I will drill down to the voucher level. If I make any changes, let's say I change this amount and I come back, the relevant reports will be automatically updated. I can press escape. So to edit vouchers, it is not necessary to go just in daybook. I can go from any report. Let's see, we are taking the balance sheet. So I can directly press B. I press enter. Now here I get current liability. Lalu Milk is our sundry creditor and sundry creditors are our liabilities. So I can find the amount 6000. Now I press enter to drill down. I will get sundry creditors. I press enter to drill down. I get Lalu Milk Mart. I have only one supplier. I press enter once again. I get the monthly report. I press enter. I get the ledger of Lalu. I press enter. I can modify this voucher. Escape, escape, escape. After modification, I will find that my balance sheet has been updated with relevance to the transaction. Cool thing. So let's go again in balance sheet. Now there is one more important key which needs to be told to you. That is again hidden in F5. So we will click on this button. Instead of remembering this, remember Alt F5 detail, because F5 has been underlined. Alt F5 detail. So whenever you want to take any report in Tally, you can press this Alt F5 key. So let's try it. Let's go back, go in display trial balance DET and press Alt F5. So I can expand this report into multiple lines. Now let's go back in balance sheet. We'll go in balance sheet. I can either press B or I'll select balance sheet and I'll press Alt F5. So you can see the difference. Again I will press Alt F5. It will collapse. So to expand and collapse, I will use the Alt F5 key. This Alt F5 key has been introduced from Tally Prime. Before that, the key was Alt F1 in Tally ERP9. The key was Alt F1 and still it remains. Alt F1 still remains. So you can either press Alt F1, but according to Tally Prime, we will learn Alt F5. So get into habit of Alt F5. Those who have already done Tally ERP9, they should now migrate to Alt F5 rather than Alt F1. So Alt F5 is expand or collapse. So we have seen the balance sheet. We will also check the profit and loss account. Alt F5 detail. Here the profit is on this side, that is on the debit side. Go in balance sheet. The profit is on the liability. So whenever the profit and loss account is on the liability side, that means we have made a profit. So we have made a profit of 7,500. We'll press escape and we'll come out of Tally, escape and enter. This completes all our 8 transactions, and we have also gone through some of the important reports. In the next video lesson, we will see this transaction chart number 2 and do the transaction number 9 to 11 in our company. See you in the next video lesson. Thank you.